Well, welcome to Monday Night Training. Love having all you here. And for those of you who are following along, here we go. I love it. This is the type of growth that I want in your business. Last week, we had one of you here. This week, we have four of you here. So there's 5 of us on screen. This is the joys of multiplication. And for all of you guys watching it back, thank you for the comments that you guys reached out to me as a part of that. Because of course you're in business for yourself, but you're never alone. And I know that Monday nights at 7 Central doesn't always hit everybody's ideal time. So I appreciate you guys watching back on that. So today I got the honors of sitting down at the courthouse all day, not being selected for a juror. So praise God. They told me it could have been 3 weeks. So can I just say, praise God, I wasn't selected. But now, I apparently used too many words talking. Just for the record, I got to meet a lot of lovely ladies. We got to play the skin analysis app while we were waiting. So just to let you know, it is fun to play apps when you don't. So it was a way for them to touch and try product and be a part of the product without actually having a purse full of samples. So all I needed was their phones. So we got to play some of that while we were there. So what I want to train on now is how many people besides me have your total schedule blown up ever? That you think you're going to do something and then it's just not that. Does anybody else ever have that happen? Because you see, I've went down to jury duty trials before, where they were going to, pick you. And I went in the morning and I was home by a little after lunch. Okay. So when I had my little jury summons, I blocked on my calendar that I should be home by about 1 o'clock as I'm pulling in at 5:15 this evening, Central Time. Okay. So does that, anybody else, 4 hours, would 4 hours change anybody else's life besides moi?
Yep.
Okay. So one of the reasons that some of this was talking about some stuff that I've been talking to somebody about, and then some of this, I don't know if you guys, what you guys listen to. One of the things that I love being a business owner is I love listening to different leadership things and different people that talk about being in business. I love listening to that. So one of the people I do listen to is Darren Hardy. Monday through Friday, he text out a little Darren Daily that talks about business. It's usually somewhere between 3 and 6 minutes. I signed up for the text messaging, so it hits my text message because if I get near my email, my morning's blown. I don't know about you. I can't open my emails because there's a gazillion emails. I don't get as many text messages, especially that time of the morning, because it comes at 7 a.m. Central Time, that I can just play that, listen to it. So I do that and my devotions. That's just kind of my morning, easing into how my morning starts. Okay. Because, and so he was also talking about this. So now what I want us to do is this exercise. So those of you on screen, you're going to do this. Those of you watching back, you're going to do the same thing. What I want you to do is I want you to look at your life between now, which we're recording this on Monday, between now, this Monday and this coming Sunday. So that's 7 days, 6 if you're, depending on how late you want to do stuff yet tonight. If you had to list, or someone wanted to ask you, what are your 3 biggest priorities of things that you're going to do for life? Now, some of this might be Marykay stuff. Some of this might be work stuff. Some of this might be family stuff. What are your 3 biggest priorities? So on your sheet of paper, write down in order 3 of your biggest priority things that need to be done between now and Sunday. What are 3 biggest priority things that, hey, if it gets to be next Sunday and this isn't done, Houston, we have a problem. Okay. I mean, for me, I'm sitting here near the end of the month. If I don't have things, at least in my mind, what's going to be happening for September, I'm not going to have time to get the memes done so that you guys have a clue what's happening next month. Okay. If for me, we pay bills in our family twice a month. I'm the one that pays the bills. I've got to have bills paid before Sunday. Okay. Or Houston, we have a problem. Okay. Do you see what I'm saying? I'm not saying all of it has to be Marykay, but I want you to write down what are three things? Aim. I know you're a teacher. You probably have got to show up to school, I'm guessing, multiple times. And Rachel's logging on, yay. So write them down on your piece of paper. What are three things that need to have happen in your world, in your universe between now and Sunday? Okay. Behind that, if there is some of these things that, if you can give an estimate of a time block, or if it's a time block that has to happen multiple days. Amy, I'm going to pick on you because I know this. Okay, you need to show up to school for at least 4 more days, right? And you have to be there, what's it, 6 hours, 7 hours?
7 hours, I wish. It's like 11 hours.
Okay, however many hours you are physically in the building. Okay, so you have to show up to school at least this many hours for the next many days. Rachel, glad to have you as well. I know you're also putting kiddos to bed, so thanks for listening, and we'll get, so does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Like for me, okay, I have to pay the bills. That's usually a couple hours to get that done. Finishing putting the calendar together, that's a couple hours. Okay, so you've got 3 priorities and how much time block it's going to require to do that. Okay, I call this our big 3 because these are must-haves. These are things that must be done. Okay, as a joke, Houston, we have a problem. Okay, these are things that we've got to have done. Okay, the next 3 things I want you to write down are, what are 3 things that would be really great if they happen? Now, for some of us, we have more than 3 things that must happen. Some of us have maybe 4 or 5 things that must happen between now and Sunday. So some of those can end up in these next 3. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Am I getting a nod from everybody on that one? Mm-hmm. Okay. Once again, I want you to put a time commitment behind that, if you know. So Judy, you guys might have some doctor's appointments in there. Okay. You might have, it might be bunco week. Okay. You know what I'm saying? There's things on your calendar. I want you to, and okay. So we've got a group of 3 must. Now we got a group of 3 I very much would like them to have. Okay. Mm-hmm. Now, looking at what you have on your piece of paper, if we were in person and we would exchange sheets of paper with other people in the room, would they know what you consider life priorities by what your top 6 things are? Could they look at your schedule and say, oh my gosh, I can tell that Rachel values family above absolutely everything else. I can tell that Faith is, oh my gosh, to Heather. Or, man, they're just trying to figure out how to make the bottom line. You know, there could be other priorities, but really you can tell that there is a lot of priorities on making sure that there's an income coming in. Okay. Does everybody hear what I'm saying? Yes. Now, I want you to look at your top 6 and give yourself, now, nobody else on the screen nor me hears this answer. Okay. So you get to be deadly honest with yourself. Okay. By looking at your top 6 things between now and Sunday, give yourself a grade let's go with 1 through 5. Okay, 1 being an awesome, 5 being a whoops. Houston, we have an issue. Looking at between now and Sunday, do you personally like your priorities? Are your priorities reflecting the direction you want it going? Or, hey, I'm okay, but I have room for improvement. Hey, this exercise has helped me think about this. Or, well, that's a very unique way of saying that. And I'm thinking we might need some total revision. Okay. We are business owners. We are created in God's design. We are awesome. Sometimes we have to clean our glasses. Okay. That's all this is. You are not broken. You are not falling apart. We just have some dirty glasses. Does that make sense to everybody?
Amen.
Amen. Okay, so the reason I wanted us to have a piece of paper and our calendar, now I want you to open up your calendar. Once again, I am not making you share with your friends. When you open up the calendar and let's see the end of August, beginning of September, or the next all of September, depending on how you guys do your calendars. Are you seeing what you want to see in your life? Or are you looking at it going, oh my gosh, I'm a chicken with my head cut off. Oh my gosh, everybody in the universe is telling me what to do. I have no control over this schedule. And the reality is we have lots of control over our schedule, but sometimes we give that power away to others. Okay? Because things like when Amy first logged on, I'm texting my I got texting my daughter. Okay, there's some stress things going on there. Now I can choose to spin and spend hours on the spin, or I can choose to open communications and have a communication and then accept what has happened. Or I can spend hours spinning. Which one is better for my schedule? Okay, because we're females. Is there any other females on the screen who can spin? Yes. Is spinning helpful to any females on the screen? No. But some reason we think that spinning is a priority, because now if we looked at our schedule, if we went backwards on our calendars and said, how did we actually, if we actually took a 10 by 10 minute, so every 10 minutes we were making a block of what did we do with our last 10 minutes of time? I'm going to guess that all of us in the last week did spend some time spinning. Is that a fair assessment?
Yes.
Yeah. But if we wanted to confess to it, it's like, no, that's not something. But sometimes that is one of our biggest time eaters, is that instead of looking forward, we spend time spinning. So one of the reasons that I love it, that we have, and I'm going to quick go to a screen share here, just a second. Okay, so I can show everybody what it is. Let me do a screen share here. La la la. Okay, everybody should see my screen. Yes, weekly accomplishment sheets. Let's just first of all give a huge round of applause. Amy turned in a weekly accomplishment sheet. So we want to say thank you for that, because as a business owner, she's made her taxes easier because she has chosen to do that. Okay, well, that is a discussion for another time on how to do that. So where do we find a blank calendar on Marykay? My business tools, all the way at the bottom, weekly accomplishment sheet, weekly plan sheet, a blank calendar. Okay, if I make this a little smaller, you can actually see the whole calendar. Do you have to use this calendar to plan your life? Somebody unmute. Tell me. You're right, Judy, you do not. It is one that you can use. Do you have to use it? No. A couple things that I like about this calendar. One thing I like about this calendar, whoops, let's get it heads up. One, it starts at 6 o'clock in the morning. And it goes to 10 o'clock at night. One of the reasons I like that is it prioritizes that you have sleep. Okay, it prioritizes. There is times you don't schedule. I also like it because there is ways to divide these blocks in two that you can do it in half-an-hour grids. The other thing that you can do that I found helpful when I was learning how to do calendaring is, you see how it has a morning block, an afternoon block, and an evening block. You guys see those?
Yep.
So if I was saying that I wanted to grow my Marykay business, my goal was that in my week, when I was growing my Marykay business and I was still working full-time some other place, I had an evening block on Thursday and I had a morning block on Saturday. I put 2 blocks to run my Marykay business on my calendar. But that was like putting church on Sunday morning. Would anybody like to explain what I meant by that comment that just came out of my mouth? Amy, may I pick on you again? Too late. I already did.
Means it's top priority.
And what does that mean when it comes to calendarizing it?
It means that is there unless you're sick. It's there.
It's there, yes, unless I'm sick. So if all of a sudden something else came up, but I was also going, and most of you know that I'm relatively social and I don't like going by myself. It is more fun for me to invite someone to go with me than for me to go by myself. This is true for, that is not a Marykay statement. That is a Mary comment. I'm volunteering down at a local, for lack of a better term, it's a soup kitchen. Guess who's not going by herself? Okay, I go to a business networking group. Guess who calls to invite somebody else to go with her? Okay, when I go to worship on Sunday, my family goes with me. I'm the type that if somebody walks in new at church, the odds of my saying hi to you are pretty high. Or if I've never seen you at church before, I will probably say hi to you. Okay, so what I'm saying that is, in my mind, I was going to work Marykay and on Thursday, but in my mind, I also wasn't going to do it alone. So if I wasn't going to do it alone, what did it mean to me? Like on my list, going back to my list of 3 or 6, what would have been there? Heather, picking on you this time.
Another priority?
That it was a priority, but it was going to be there, but I wasn't going to show up by myself. In my list of priorities of something that had to happen during the next week, what would have been listed there that I knew I had to do?
I don't see it on your list, so I don't know.
Oh, so okay, sorry, my question is confusing. I'll thank you. Okay, so if in my mind, I was going to go to my Thursday night meeting with somebody,
Right?
in my top priorities, I would have said I had to invite people. Because if I didn't invite people, were anybody going to go with me?
No.
No. And we all know if I just invite one person, is that one person going to guarantee to go with me?
Not really.
Not really. Great answer, Heather. Perfect answer. Thank you. That was a perfect Cancer. Most of us, the reality is when you get 3 confirmed guests that they're going to join you at an event, 1 will show.
Mhm.
If you have 2 confirmed guests, the odds are none will show. If you have 1 confirmed guest, none will show. It's the odds of 3. If you've ever thrown a birthday party, a wedding, whatever, a party, about 1/3 of the invites people will attend. You ask wedding planners, you ask anybody, it's about 1/3. We're in the party business. About 1/3 of the people are gonna come that you invite. So if I wanna have 3 confirmed guests so that I have 1 guest show up, I'm going to invite and talk to about 10 people. Talk to 10 people more than, hey, like throw out the generic text message. Hey, can you join me? I will actually have a conversation with 10 people to get them to the stage of that, getting 3 of them to agree to having 1 of them to actually show up. Judy, anybody unmute. Does this make sense to anybody?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Okay. So the reason I'm trying to put all these pieces back together is if as you want to grow your Marykay business. Okay. Now I was working, some of you guys don't know the story. I was working 60 to 70 hour weeks. I was chasing 3 kids in multiple directions. So this invitation looked, what very rarely did it look like a half an hour block or an hour block on my calendar. Rarely. I don't know that it ever made a block on my calendar to say, invite people to come to Thursday night meetings. So how did it look? Well, it looked like wherever I was, I brought it up to see if somebody wanted to join me. Ashley was with me yesterday and we were at the restaurant. I collected the waitress's name and number when we were there. I was at the jury today. I got names and numbers of fellow jury members. So on my calendar, there's not a block that says invite people to get spatials. For me, I just sprinkle it in. Is this making sense?
Yeah, it's just about maximizing your time.
Yes, because most of you, if I looked at your calendars, this adding Marykay is something we're going to have to sprinkle in because you are already busy. Does that make sense? I don't know any of you that don't already have your 24 hours full. Okay. Hello, Kitty. So is this helpful on calendarizing?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. The other reason that I will recommend doing a calendar, 1, to do a calendar gives you a plan to what you are hoping to do. It gives you a target. When we don't calendarize, we are more likely for other people to hijack our calendars. We are more likely for other people to tell us what we should be doing with our 24 hours. Does that sound, does anyone like being told what to do?
Not really.
Not really. But if all of a sudden it's on our calendar, we can say, hey, this is what's here. Now, just like today, hey, I lost 4 hours of what I thought I was going to be doing today. So just because it's my plan doesn't mean that it's going to, hey, it's in concrete. That's exactly what it's going to look like. But I still know what priorities I had to do that I can now look at. It's like, okay, is this what I had planned for this afternoon? Does it rank a higher priority of other stuff I have going on this week? Or is this something that I delegate or Hakuna Matata? Okay, does that make sense and is that helpful?
Very.
Okay, because as business owners, this is the prioritizing that we get to do. Okay, okay. The other part that I want us to just, you guys still have your piece of paper, yes?
Yes.
Okay, we're gonna play a little bit of math. I know. Some of you are so excited because you love it when I play math with you.
My dementia doesn't like you right now.
No, but okay, but this is what we can end up talking profit. We can talk about cash in hand. So does that make you any more reason that this might be fun for you?
Yes.
Okay, so we're gonna do a little, we're gonna pick a little bit on some of the new people, a little bit on this, just in case you don't know. So Amy and Judy, you get to bail people out because I think you guys know the answer to this, okay? A time-wise set, the 4-piece set. Heather, I want to pick on you first. The 4-piece set retails for how much? Do you remember? I'm sorry. If you don't know, just say don't know. Okay, Judy, can you bail her out?
120.
120, correct. So on your piece of paper, I want you to write 120. That's retail cost. Okay. Heather, do you happen to know how much the microdermabrasion costs, the set cost? This is new, and Ashley, I'm not even picking because I haven't even showed the catalog, so that's not even fair. And Rachel, you're even lower than she is, so that's even less fair. So Heather, it's fine. If you don't know, that's fine. Do you know the set? No, it's okay. Amy, your turn to bail.
Isn't it 55? I still
is
got,
50. It is
I
50.
still have a lot of old prices in my head.
That's fine. Okay. It is 55. So that is the microderma, refine, and the pore minimizer. Okay. So now let's do some math. 120 plus 55.
175.
Look at you. See, math is not that hard. I love math. Okay. Math is not that hard. Okay. Most people on time-wise on a skincare set, and I'm gonna factor in, we're gonna say that the economy is doing funny things. Okay, is that a fair deal? Can we say that economy is doing a fair deal? So if the economy isn't doing funny things, people are gonna purchase closer to 4 of these in a year. They're gonna purchase 4 miracle sets and probably 2 microdermabrasions when the economy isn't funny. But when the economy's funny, we're going to just, for the sake of math, we're going to say that they buy 3 sets, 3 of the time-wise sets in a year, in a 12 months. So instead of getting it done in 3 months, which is normal run out rate is 90 days, we're going to say they're
$535 a year.
excellent. $530. Okay.
Yeah.
So if you had $530, okay, now if you had only 20 customers using skincare, we did not sell them any mascara yet. We did not sell them any lipstick. We didn't sell them anything else. We sold them skincare and we only sold them time-wise. For some of us, we have repair customers and we love our repair customers, right? And we have some customers like Amy that are on the Naturally line. Okay. But so let's, for even math, easy math, let's just say at time-wise. Okay. So Ashley, what was our number for having 1 customer for a year?
535.
535.
Mhm.
Now take 535 times 20.
Gosh, old school math.
Okay, get all my teachers working here. 530 times Okay, teachers, come on, get me to some math.
10,700.
Yeah.
10,700. Thank you, Rachel. Great math.
You're
Okay.
welcome.
And we make half
5,350.
5,350. How many of you know that $5,300.50 for a part-time job is really what a lot of people do part-time jobs for? Okay. And that's only having 20 customers. Okay. The advantage to having 20 customers. Okay. One, we just put $5,000 into your family budget. Okay. Anybody think that's kind of nice?
Mhm.
Okay. But understand when we are functioning at this level, this is also considered a business. Okay, now let's think about tax advantages. When it is a business and not a hobby, we get to have tax advantages of things like every single product you use, the amazing. How much can you use and what write off, right? All the products of people in your household now is considering walking advertisement dollars. Okay, last year, my family, the people who live in my household, we ourselves did over 10 grand. Hello, beautiful Rachel. How does that help our taxes? And better yet, how does that help our skin? My sons smell great because they use our cologne, they use their face wash. I use only 2 items, it all. Okay, I get it, you know. So as we're doing, okay, my mileage. Okay, the advantage of being a self-employed tax person, you know, it helps your family lower their taxable income. It isn't how much you make. It isn't only how much you make. It is how much you can keep. Because I guarantee, since a lot of you are teachers on the screen, the disadvantage of moving up from being a part-time teacher to a full-time teacher, to an assistant principal, to a principal, guess what? You get paid more. Guess what the government does for your check?
Takes more.
Takes more. Okay.
Mhm.
The higher you go in the income structure for the way that our government is set up right now, the higher your income, the higher the percentage of taxes you pay. Anybody else, like besides me, prefer keeping more of my own non-taxable income? Okay, I like to personally choose how I spend my money. I don't mind having the government spend part of it. I just like to spend more of it myself. I like my own choices first. They can have their choices second. Okay, is this helpful? Did you guys find some helpful nuggets today? Okay, couple things I want to celebrate and think about let's give a huge round of applause to Ashley and Rachel, brand new beauty consultants in our unit. So Rachel last night joined Judy's team. So yay, love to have her here. Ashley joined my team last week. So love to have both of you guys here to be a part of that. So as you're going, a couple things I want to just also, and Heather is in the category that this is true for as well. You three are in your first 4 months of business. Okay. This is where Marykay wants to give you as much free product as you will ever earn in Marykay. Okay. They want to give you an arm up, leg up, a high five, whatever you want to call it. You get free product for not only ordering and selling to your customers, but also building your team. Okay. So you get free product every time you get to $600 wholesale. But every time you have a team member in this same 4 months that they get to the stage of getting free product. Marykay not only gives them free product, they give you free product, plus you get a cash bonus. Okay, anybody else think cash is king besides moi? Cash. I like cash. I spend cash well. So part of the reasons that we're doing this, part of the reason Marykay does this, we'll go back to what I said is what I did when I go someplace, is that I don't like to go alone. How many of you guys have ever been on a diet or joined a gym? Anybody else been on a diet or went to a gym? Okay, if you've done either, if you went to a diet plan or to a gym, they are always encouraging you to bring a
Friend.
friend. Why do they want your friend to come with you?
Because you're more likely to go.
Bingo.
Mhm.
Bingo. When you join the gym, are you the gym trainer? No. No. It isn't about how much you know. It is about the accountability of you doing it with somebody. So I really do, I do challenge everybody on the screen. Who is your new friend this week you're adding to your team? Not because you have all your ducks in a perfect row and you know everything about Marykay and you just can't wait. You want to learn this journey with them. Okay? It's that accountability that, hey, Ashley's been in a week. Who can, she's a whole whopping week ahead of her. Woohoo! Who can she do this journey with? Rachel's been in 2 days. Okay, Rachel, you're going to be 2 days ahead of your friend. But who are you bringing with you? Heather, 2 months. Who are you going to be bringing with you? Judy, yes, you have one new teammate, but who else are you bringing? Amy, you have Judy, but who else are you bringing? Yes, you guys can hold me accountable to it too. Yes, the goal is, and why do we do that? One, I'll give you 2 reasons. One, anybody else think new is fun? How many people like new shoes or a new, you know, whatever, do it's a girl thing. We get a little, you know, serotonin, a little whoop, new is fun for us. The other reason that we want to do this is, it is that, you know, it's that accountability, because I don't want to burst your bubbles, but sometimes owning a business isn't all fun. And if you haven't already thought about quitting your Marykay business, in the next 30 days, it's going to happen. Okay. And when you have a new friend, she's probably not going to have that same cycle at that exact same moment that you do. And then you two can help encourage each other on this emotional roller coaster that we do as women. Okay. Because sometimes we are so excited about our business, and the next day it's like, I'm really glad this product works because this stinks. Okay. But when we're doing with somebody else, it's like when you go to the gym, who thinks going to the gym every morning's fun? Nobody. But when your friend's going to be there, it makes it harder not to get out of bed, because you know you don't want to leave your friend hanging at the gym by herself. Okay, does that make sense? All good training? Okay, now I'm going to turn off the recording. Those of you that are online, what I want is, I want comments in the comment section what your takeaways are. And we're going to do that when I turn off the recording. So here we go. Stop recording. Yes.